Women don't want an average man. They want a far above average man and a man who is far above her. She's not like you. If you want something, she probably wants the opposite. If you want a caring, loving woman, she's gonna respond to an indifferent, uncaring man. We're complementary opposites, not equals. The reason a woman is attracted to a strong, powerful man is because he's the opposite of her. He's not driven by emotion, and he's emotionally stable. What's up, you guys? Back in the bedroom, here with another lesson. Hopefully provide some value to you, teach you something important that I've learned and that is constantly reinforced to me when I'm talking to guys about their breakup, why their woman left, how to attract a new woman. So today's video. We've been fed a lie. From a young age, we are taught that we are the same as women. We've had this concept of equality shoved down our throats. A concept which is wholly unnatural. Equality is not a natural thing. Equality and fairness and justice, these are things that humans impose on the world. They impose on nature. Because most people are weak, so they can't grapple with the chaos and uncertainty and brutality of nature. Just the danger and violence that is nature. They don't like it. They don't accept it. The weaker you are, the less you will accept it, nature. Modern men are so weak, they find nature completely unacceptable, so they latch on to this fairy tale delusion that was built by modern rational minds. Rationality is the opposite of instinct and intuition. Those things are natural. Listen to your instincts. Do you think that people are equal? I'm not saying that we shouldn't have equal rights, obviously. Everyone agrees that everyone is equal as far as treatment goes, treatment under the law. Everyone should be treated with respect and dignity. Even people I get into fights with, in like physical altercations, it sounds strange, but I'm actually polite and courteous with people I'm punching in the face who are punching me in the face, and I'm respectful of them. If I'm physically fighting someone, it's because I enjoy it. It's not because I hate someone or I'm angry. I'm emotionally detached from the situation. I respect you. I respect you for fighting me. And I respect all people, even women. I think you should respect women. But there's no such thing as equality. Nature is hierarchical. There's always people at the top, the middle, and the bottom based on genetics, based on their environment, how they were raised, based on their proclivities, their strengths and weaknesses, their skills and abilities, their intellect, their physical and mental strength. All of these things vary, and this creates a rank order of beings in nature. So there's no equality, and you can't force equality. But modern society tries to force equality. It indoctrinates young boys into believing they're the same as young girls. So when you're in school, you're told to behave, to follow the rules, to be quiet. Feminine women do this naturally. Masculine young boys with testosterone do not do well in this kind of environment. If you have testosterone, It makes you less obedient. It makes you disregard rules. It makes you boisterous and loud. And this is suppressed in schools. Female teachers are suppressing the natural masculinity of young boys. In the media and just in society in general, there's this narrative in the West primarily that masculinity is toxic. Toxic masculinity, that's a thing. Men and boys are taught to be more emotional, to open up, to be vulnerable, to act like women. And they're told this will make them more attractive. This is the lie of equality. This is the lie we've been fed. So why are we fed this lie? It goes pretty deep. It goes back to the Christian ethos. All of our morals and values, it all comes from Christianity, most of it, like in the West. If you recall, America was a Christian nation for most of the time. It only recently became more secular and godless. But even people who reject God and faith and Christianity, they still cling to the same morality because it's so ingrained in us at this point. Values of fairness, equality, compassion, love thy neighbor, turn the other cheek, resist not evil. These are the values that are instilled in us. And it makes a lot of sense. It makes sense for governments, for institutions to embrace these kinds of fundamental values and ways of living and thinking. And it's in the government's best interest for you to obey their laws and do as you're told. It's in the community's best interest for you to be compassionate and charitable. So if it's in other people's best interest to do these things, of course they're gonna shove this down your throat. It's in women's best interest, it's in society's best interest to push equality on people. But you need to think about this. Do you want to live your life for other people? Do you want to follow the herd and go along to get along? I think that's the saying. Or do you want to do what's in your best interest? On this channel, I'm going to teach you what is in your best interest. And it's the opposite of what society tells you, what women tell you. So doing what society tells you is the right thing, doing what women tell you they want, this all makes men into weak puppets that are easily controlled, easily manipulated. And there's a variety of things that are making men weak. It's not just the cultural narrative. It's also physical, biological things like microplastics, endocrine disruptors in the water supply, the food we eat. If you go to a restaurant, they cooked your food in seed oils, canola oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil. Seed oils have linoleic acid, which it takes the place of DHA. DHA is like the fat of fish. It's brain food. If you have linoleic acid in your cell, you can't have DHA in your cells. So basically the whole diet, the modern diet, is full of seed oils that make you dumber and lower testosterone. Men are not being active outside, not getting enough sun. Vitamin D is crucial for testosterone. Men are becoming vegans. Nutrition you get from plant foods is not nearly the same as eating animal products. If you're not concerned about testosterone, you can be vegan. It's fine. But if you want to optimize your diet and lifestyle for testosterone, you shouldn't be vegan. I was vegan for 2 years. It did teach me a lot about nutrition. It made me care about what I put into my body. I had a very high carb diet which was lower in protein and lower in fat. And you need protein and fat mainly for testosterone. So men are becoming weaker. We have far lower testosterone than our grandfathers had because of the modern diet, the modern lifestyle. And then that combines with the social conditioning to make men weaker than ever. At the same time, women are becoming stronger than ever. Women are becoming more masculine while men are becoming more feminine. Women are taught from a young age to go to school, have a career, and be independent and provide for themselves and not need men. But a woman's biology will always force her to weed out the weak men and find the strongest man possible. So women need a superior. They need a man who is more competent than them. They need a man who is stronger than them. Not just physically. You should be physically bigger and stronger, but you need to have inner strength. You need to have emotional strength and stability. You can't be thrown off center. 99% of a woman's shit tests come from her just trying to throw you off center, her trying to change your mind and seeing if you will follow along. Women desire leaders. They need leadership. They need guidance. And they need guidance from a superior, from an authority figure. Imagine like a little girl, how she looks at her father. Her father is like a superhuman. He's like a god. He can do anything. He's the authority. He sets the rules and punishments, and he guides his daughter and raises her. And when she grows up, she's gonna need a husband to fulfill that role of the authority figure, of the godlike superior man who is gonna guide her and teach her and protect her. There needs to be a huge discrepancy in value between the woman and the man. And as women rise up in the world, men need to rise up even more to maintain that discrepancy. Instead, women are rising up and men are getting weaker. So there needs to be a shift. There needs to be a masculine shift in your mindset, in your lifestyle habits. You need to do things every day that build you as a man. You need to maintain and sharpen your masculine edge. Don't let society weaken you. Don't let women's words weaken you, weaken your frame. Trust in yourself. And this goes back to solitude and suffering. You need to suffer alone. You can't rely on other people. You can't rely on anyone. You need to get everything internally. Suffering is what builds you as a man. You can wait until you have some tragic event, like your wife leaves you and takes all your money and starts traveling the world with another man. Or you can build yourself gradually. You don't need to have like this life-shaking event that snaps you out of complacency and puts you on the path to a transformation. You can right now, if everything's going great in your life, you can keep things going good and progressing gradually by keeping your masculine edge and continuing to do the daily work, self-work. You need to spend time in solitude. You need to read and write and meditate and lift weights and go in nature. You need to live a healthy, fulfilling life, independent, not seeking validation or approval from anyone else. These are the qualities of a strong masculine leader that women actually desire. Everyone knows women are attracted to bad boys. Everyone knows Women are attracted to criminals and degenerates. The dark triad traits: narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. You can be Machiavellian and you can be narcissistic. It's not true narcissism, but you can be like people. If you have self-love, if you are confident in your abilities and your power, people will think you're narcissistic. If you have self-love and you're selfish with your time, you spend all your time building yourself, developing yourself. You sacrifice for yourself and not for other people. You suffer for yourself and not for other people. People will think you're narcissistic. You can be narcissistic and you can be Machiavellian, which is just being like politically intelligent. You shouldn't be psychopathic. I think that's just negative, even though it is attractive to women, clearly. But you can have some of these traits of like a bad boy. And if you balance it out with self-improvement and just focusing on your health and well-being, specifically your mental health, this is like the perfect balance. You're a challenge and you're strong, but you're not a bad guy. People who have true inner strength, they're not mean. Compassion, magnanimity, these are traits of a very powerful person. When you're powerful and confident in yourself and secure in your strength and your power, you don't try to impose your will on others. You don't try to control other people. You're content and good on your own, in your own world. You're not trying to mess with other people and tell them what to do and how to live their life. You're focused on yourself, remember? You're narcissistic. You don't have to be a full-on degenerate and just sleeping with lots of women and doing drugs, even though that is far superior to being a good little boy, following the rules, being agreeable, being responsible, being caring and kind. Being an asshole who does drugs and drinks and sleeps with a bunch of women, that is infinitely more attractive. You will be very much more desirable to women being kind of an asshole, kind of a loser and degenerate, than you will be being like this nice polished guy in a suit who follows the rules. But there's an even higher order. You can ascend above that even. I went through a phase of being a complete degenerate for many years. And then I lowered it to being kind of more responsible and agreeable. And then I came back up here. And now I've realized there's a third level where you have all these traits of like the degenerate bad boy player, but you also have the traits of loving yourself and being secure in yourself and having inner strength and not seeking external validation. These playboys and criminals and party guys, yes, they're very attractive to women because of many reasons: social status, excitement, unpredictability, mystery. But that's not a healthy way to live your life. That's not good for you as a person. You need to combine not giving a fuck with personal development. So you shouldn't give a fuck about anything except yourself, except your own health, well-being, and development, and achieving greatness and achieving your full potential. That's the only thing that you should care about. And if you don't care about women, you don't care about society's rules and what other people are doing, this is like the perfect combination of traits. So you can't be equal to women. If you are equal to a woman, why would she want you? You need to be supremely superior to her in pretty much every way that matters. I'm saying you need to be godlike. She should worship you because you're so far above her. So how do you become superior? You need to transform into a superior man. Most of you are weak men. You need to face that you've been weak. The way you think is weak. The things you do are weak. The way You approach life. You do it in a limp-wristed way. You're too agreeable. You're a pushover. You're not dominating life. You need to transform into a superior man, into a superior human being. You need to transcend above the herd. Women don't want an average man. They want a far above average man, and a man who is far above her. And with them making their own money now, it used to be that women needed men for resources. So the man was, in the past, the man was masculine. He didn't have to watch videos about teaching him about female nature and masculinity. This was all intuitive. It was all a natural thing. Only in modern society has this become something like rare. Like me saying these things are so controversial in today's day. In the past, people would just take this stuff for granted. Of course, men and women aren't the same. Duh. What a woman wants is not what a man wants. How a woman thinks is not how a man thinks. Stop thinking that. She's not like you. If you want something, she probably wants the opposite. If you want a caring, loving woman, she's going to respond to an indifferent, uncaring man. We're complementary opposites, not equals. So how do you transform? When my wife left me, it was rough. It was brutal, devastating, and perfect because it caused so much suffering and pain. I was forced into change. I was forced to learn why I'm suffering and how to fix it. I learned about men's mental health and how it's very different from women's mental health, and they both just get combined into mental health as a whole. I learned about the daily habits necessary to build myself as a man and advance in life. It's the feeling of increasing power and of forward momentum, like you're building up. That is the feeling you need. That is what gives you happiness, joy, fulfillment. That is what improves your mental health. It's these daily habits, self-improvement habits, meditation, gratitude journaling, lifting weights, going in nature, fasting. This is the self-care, self-love habits for men. Self-care for women is going to the spa and talking with their friends, gossiping. It's doing arts and crafts. It's, I don't know, knitting, baking. For men, it's different. And I go over in my videos many different things you can do on a daily basis to build you as a man. I went through my transformation. It was grueling and I learned so much. And it's the whole reason I'm making these videos is because I want to help other men go through the transformation. So if you're going through a breakup, I offer one-on-one coaching. In the description, there's a link, and top comment, I'll put something. So I now coach men. I teach them what I learned. I guide them and help them really genuinely make a transformation, get in touch with their masculinity, rediscover their inner strength and their value. Because if you've been dumped, you're gonna think your value is very low. And it's not that you have low value, it's that your behavior is projecting and subcommunicating low value because of your mindset and how you think. It affects your behavior. So if you need one-on-one coaching, a link in description and top comment. So let's discuss your masculine edge. Women respect men who are emotionally unshakable. How to build unshakable confidence. I'll put a link to that video. Is it here? I think it's here. Maybe the other side. Anyway, they respect a man who can't be moved off center. and who is purpose driven. If you're driven by your purpose, by your goals and ambitions, by developing yourself and building yourself and realizing your full potential, there is no more mental bandwidth for you to be focused and worried about women and relationships with women. There's just not. If you're consumed by your purpose and your life's work, it's going to be a lot easier to disregard what a woman is telling you. And make no mistake, women will constantly, forever test your masculinity, test your resolve in who you are and what you're doing with your life. This happened to me. My wife would constantly put pressure on me. If I was getting weak, if I was getting purposeless, directionless, she would really amp up the testing by telling me, oh, you should be more responsible. You're such a man child. I will be going to the gym and getting tattoos, and my wife would tell me, oh, what? You're like a teenager. Why do you care so much about your appearance? Whatever you're doing, they're going to test you. They're going to test to see, are you strong internally? Are you secure in yourself and who you are? This never ends. But it amps up if you've been displaying weakness. You display weakness by changing your mind, changing your mood, and reacting to her and her mood. Women are chaotic. They have mood swings. This is a fact. They'll never be different. It's their biology. Their hormone profile causes them to be very inconsistent as far as how they feel. They're driven by emotion. The reason a woman is attracted to a strong, powerful man is because he's the opposite of her. He's not driven by emotion, and he's emotionally stable. He has a consistent mood. You can't provoke him. You can't make him angry. And women will try. They will try to make you angry. They will try to provoke a response out of you. They will try to throw you off center. If she's successful in doing that, it communicates your weakness. If you disregard her, if you don't care, and you're focused on yourself and what you're doing, and you're confident and secure in that, she will see that and she'll be like, okay, good. I'm with a strong man. I can't disturb him. He doesn't react. He doesn't get emotional. I feel safe. He is a rock. The higher your testosterone is, and I'm not suggesting you take exogenous testosterone. I think that's not good, because if you take testosterone, your balls will stop producing it naturally, and then you're reliant on an external substance for the rest of your life. I don't like that. I wouldn't want to be reliant on something else. You can increase your testosterone naturally through your habits, your lifestyle, your diet, your activities, your exercise. So yeah, raising your testosterone naturally is going to make you much more resilient when it comes to testing by women. High testosterone just makes you calm. It's like a calm power. So sharpen your masculine edge, raise your testosterone naturally, and focus on self-development. This will give you the strength and the emotional stability that women seek, that women find desirable. You need to outwork women. You need to be reading books. You need to be way smarter than her, way more well-read, more cultured, much stronger physically, much stronger mentally and emotionally. You need to be superior and godlike. You're striving to be above humanity. You're striving to be a god among men. That is how you become more desirable to women. And doing this, living this way, it gives you self-belief, it gives you unshakable confidence, it makes you indifferent to petty, trivial things that have nothing to do with your own self-advancement in life. All of this makes you very desirable. So now that you're making a lot more money than your woman, one of the tests is she's gonna ask you for things. She's gonna, oh, buy me this bag. Oh, take me on this trip. You can dole out rewards, but you don't just give things to a woman. She has to earn it. And it'll feel much better for her to earn something than you just giving it to her. That's a weakness. That's simping. If you simp for your wife or your girlfriend, watch her disrespect you. She might be happy in the short term, immediately, when you give her that new bag or take her on a trip or something. But over the long term, she's going to lose respect. She needs to earn the rewards of your generosity. You need to be more strict. And you can be strict and lighthearted and playful at the same time. Like, tell her with a smile, okay, I can get you that bag, but you're gonna have to work for it. And then tell her what she needs to do. Whatever you want, she'll do it. Women love to serve powerful men. Women love to submit and serve superior men. This makes them feel like a woman. It makes them feel feminine. And this notion of equality destroys that dynamic. If you think she's the same as you, if you think you're equals, how can you have this dynamic? It's impossible. All right, let's wrap this up. Reject equality. Reject the lie of equality. Embrace your masculine strength and regain control in your dynamic with women. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're dating, you need to have this frame of superiority, but it's not like a disrespectful, arrogant kind of superiority. It's, well, like I said, it's a calm power. It's a calm, quiet power. You have nothing to prove. You're not seeking external validation. People who have inner strength, you'll know they are kind and compassionate and magnanimous naturally. Stop believing the lie of equality and start developing yourself to become this strong, powerful person that needs nothing. And then you can have all these traits that the mainstream tells you are good. And they are good, but they spring naturally from strength. It doesn't come from being a weak bitch. And supplicating to people, it doesn't come from following rules. You make your own rules because that makes you strong and powerful. All right, guys, that's it for today. Reach out to me for one-on-one coaching if you're going through a breakup and you're ready to transform. I'm talking to a few guys that are going through a breakup, but they're still in the stage of, depressed, trying to numb the pain. That can take months. I was doing it for at least 2 or 3 months. But at some point, you're going to hit rock bottom and you're going to be ready to transform. You're going to be ready to do the actions, the healthy habits required to transform. So if you're ready for that, link in description, top comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.